Hello guys, welcome back to GRAZYTV. I'm so sorry if the video is a little bit dark today. The place that I'm in right now is a little bit dark. Today we're going to be talking about the dark sides of marital affairs. Obviously, affairs happen all around the world, but today we're going to be focusing on Korea because it's really interesting to see different countries and what happens and how it happens. I know it sounds so weird. There's just some interesting things in Korea, like interesting app that is dedicated to specifically marital affairs. There's also affair catching services that you could pay and use for your court if you are having a divorce. But there was a documentary that was so interesting to me called KBS 제보자들. Before we get started, I am looking pretty cute today. This is a cute tennis necklace from Italo Jewelry. I have my heart earring. This is super cute, right? And then my fluffy little white dress here. Something about affairs seems to be mysterious, curious, and something that human beings, maybe it's a natural instinct, but it's something that human beings just seem to be gravitated towards. It just entices people, and I think that is one of the reasons why affairs happen. Have you ever seen this Korean drama? This is called The World of the Married, and it's one of the most watched dramas in Korean TV history. This drama is basically about a two perfect couple with a son, and the spouse actually ends up cheating on the wife. The shocking thing about this drama is their friends and families all help out this husband cheat. The friends are actually being a spy for the husband, and when the wife tells the friends that they're gonna do anything, that they're suspicious, they actually report it to the husband and they help the husband cheat with a younger girl. These things are actually based on true stories in real life. The documentary in the drama concludes and asks the audience, well, is it a sin to fall in love? I mean, technically it's not a sin to fall in love, and that's why in Korea actually marital affairs used to be a crime. You could go to jail for this, but recently the law has changed and marital affairs is actually not a crime, so you can't go to jail, but you could still sue people for it. So let's start with a crazy real life affair story that has happened. In this documentary, they interview one man who had 3 kids with his wife and they've been together for 15 years. It seems like the wife was really young when she got married, so keep that in mind. He claims that they never fought with each other, they've always had like a good relationship for the 15 years, but one day suddenly everything changed. The wife ended up signing up for some clubs, activity clubs, and one of the activity club was a bike riding club. In this bike riding activity club, she ended up meeting this one man. This one man was actually married with kids himself. The husband found out that the wife was acting very strange, leaving the kids, not taking care of them, and eventually he found man's boxers as well. So she ended up actually leaving her house like a runaway, and she got an apartment by herself. She got a 1-room apartment, and this is also one of the things that kind of makes it easy to have affairs in Korea, or I should say in Asia in general, because in Asia I feel like compared to the Western countries, getting a 1-room apartment is actually very easy. Some of them are year-to-year contract, but some of them are actually month-to-month or very short-term month, and also it's not that expensive as well. There's also motel options, there's like small housing options, so it makes it very easy for a solo person to live by themselves. So in a lot of these cheating cases, the spouse actually ends up leaving very easily because they have a place to stay. Another interesting thing is there's a lot of motels in Asia. So in Korea, motels are very cheap and they're pretty much everywhere. You could find them like literally anywhere down the street. There's also something called 무인 motel, which is a no contact, no person motel. This is really interesting because there's a parking lot for each room, so you don't run into anybody. It's so private that it makes it very easy for affairs to happen. These motels also have hourly ones, so $20 for like 2 hours, let's say. On the weekdays, it could be very cheap, at low as $30 a night. A lot of these motel owners say that out of 10 cars that they see every day, at least 2 are marital affairs, and they know this because they try to keep their low profile. So one person might come in and then their partner will come in like 10 minutes later, or they might hide their faces. There's also an app called Telegram. This is kind of like WhatsApp, but it's more secretive because I believe they don't track certain IP address, or I believe the chat could be erased permanently so you don't have to be tracked. So the wife was using the Telegram app to talk to her side boyfriend, and actually a lot of affairs go on in this app. The documentary crew actually ended up finding the wife, and they were secretly seeing that she was actually seeing another guy coming out of her apartment holding hands with someone else. The husband actually ended up suing the wife's side man, and you could actually do this I didn't know that. Since adultery is not a crime anymore, you could actually sue people for compensation. And I believe the maximum that you could receive from the marital affair court cases are $15,000. Now, a lot of people are actually mad about this, especially this husband, because they're saying they ruined a whole marriage for years, but with only $15,000, you could just get away with it. The shocking thing about this particular case, he says, is that his acquaintances and friends were all in on this, just like the drama. He says that acquaintances and friends actually helped the spouse get the one-room apartment. They were actually being spies for her instead of the husband. So if you guys are married or planning on getting married, keep an eye on your friends and acquaintances because they could be shady as well. Another crazy example that this documentary gave was that one woman says she was actually getting ready to give birth to her first child, with her newlywed husband. She found out that the husband was cheating while she was pregnant, and the lady that her husband was cheating with told her to her face, "I'll be the mother of your baby instead. Don't waste your life being a young mother. Go and live a new life. Just give the baby and your husband to me." Another woman claims that her husband was actually sick with cancer, but she found out that her husband was cheating on her while he was sick and receiving treatments. And one day he allegedly took a certain medical pill starting with V. You guys probably know what it is. And he actually ended up dying a week later because of the complication. There's certain shocking chat rooms that I was very shocked to find out as well. So the documentary crew searched Gyeongbang in Korean. And Gyeongbang means room for the married. And this chat room is specifically made to cheat and have an affair with each other. It sounds crazy, I know. These people who enter these chat rooms say that it's enticing. It's people who feel like they're trapped in marriages. It's people who've been married for such a long time that they want something new, fun, and enticing and butterfly feeling in their stomach. It's really weird, but once joining this chat room, they actually have to confirm that you're actually married. So they ask your age, your name, how far you're into the marriage, like how long you've been married for, and your married pictures to prove that you're married. And you don't want anyone joining this chat room. You want people that are really secretive and who are really serious about joining this club. In this chat room, they encourage you to have new relationships. They could hit on each other. They actually even meet up in real life, just like any activity club. And I guess they meet up and just talk about life and talk about they're married, I guess. They also upload pictures from their nightly meeting onto the chat room saying, "Hey guys, like we all met up. It was so fun." And you could also meet new relationships just like on dating apps like Tinder. Professionals say that there's two types of affairs. There's physical and emotional. Now they say that men are usually more physical affairs and females are more on the emotional affair side. He also said that for males, affairs happen kind of like anywhere between the marriage, and for females, affairs usually happen when marriages are falling apart. There's also something called the professional affair catching service. Now I want to see if you guys agree with this or not. Some people might say this is stalking, aka this is technically just a private investigators, but they specialize in catching affairs. This is important because you actually need proof when you are suing someone or if you're going to court for divorce, and you need proper evidence to prove that your spouse was cheating on you. It's really interesting how they do this because they use multiple staff members, they use multiple cars, and they even wait hours and even days trying to catch this. There was this one woman who decided to use this service because she was very suspicious of her husband because she thought that he was cheating on him with his coworker. The husband would leave Friday night after work and come back Sunday night really late, and he would just say that it was just for work, and he did this too many times and she just caught on to it. The private investigators first gather information about the cheating spouse and their coworker or whoever they're cheating with. When they're pretty sure that this is going down, they gather multiple cars and investigators to catch them holding hands, riding in the same car, where they're going, and gather photos and video evidences. In this particular case, they were actually waiting hours for the husband to come out of a hotel. Then they did catch him coming out of the hotel with the coworker like they suspected. They also caught them holding hands and going to the restaurants, and the investigators actually pretend to be a customer, go eat there and take photos and videos of them. So they can't go too close to the suspect, especially like tailgating them, or they'll get caught that there's something suspicious going on. So they use like 4 different cars to follow them. They're in like different locations to catch the suspects. They also change their clothes every couple hours just so that they keep their profile pretty low. Another really good evidence is the black boxes. Now, black boxes are, I believe, a law in Korea, which is like CCTV inside your car, and it's due to protect yourself from car crashes and, you know, have evidence and things like that. Now, these black boxes actually capture audio as well. In this particular case and story, one young man said he was newlywed and he was very happy in his marriage. But one day he saw his wife chatting with another guy, and she said it was just a high school friend. The husband ended up going to the man's Instagram and saw a very interesting picture. In this food picture, he saw a little clip of his wife's clothing, and he knew that that was his wife and they were having these secret meeting and dates. He told his wife and he was really angry, but in this case, the wife was actually angry at the husband for being angry at her. I know it's shocking why the cheating person would get angry, but actually this is a very common reaction where a lot of people, when they're caught, they're not sorry. They're actually really angry and they actually fire back and try to manipulate the situation sometimes and make you feel like you're in the wrong when it's actually not. So one day the man got the black box SD card from his wife's car and he found something very shocking. He found an audio where the wife was inside the car with her side man and she was confessing love to him. This audio is really disturbing to me because I just can't believe how the wife is confessing love to another man, but she's a newlywed, and go home to the husband and try to act like nothing happened. They decided to get divorced, but in court they did mutually decide that they cannot sue each other based on this relationship. He really regrets doing this because soon he found out that his ex-wife was actually pregnant during the time that they were still married. If they didn't have this agreement, he could probably get emotional, like monetary compensation. All he is left with is this extreme emotional trauma. It ruined his marriage, his family, his psychological emotions, and he can't even sue them for anything now, and she's just kind of living this happy life with a child and her new husband. Of course, like I said, the question is it a sin to fall in love? But one of the most negative sides to marital affairs is the children. And they say that actually statistically, if they grew up in these kind of upbringing, they end up becoming involved in marital affairs themselves. Even more shockingly, in this documentary, there was actually another black box incident. And in this case, the father was asking the kids, hey, what if I divorce your mom? And one of the child actually said, why do adults cheat on each other? Why can't they just end the relationship and then meet someone new? So as you guys could see, children see everything. It's not just about the mother and the father, it's about the whole family that it affects. Although certain mysterious things in life, secretive things, could be enticing, and you have to decide if you want to be honest with someone or not, because it could bring very, very bad negative trauma to someone that you once loved. So you guys, this is more of the dark marital affair side that happened in Asia, or aka Korea. I feel like in the Western countries or different countries, these marital affairs could happen in different ways. So I want you guys to let me know what you guys have thought about this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe, share with your friends, and I reply to all my early birds, so hit that notification button. Have a magical day.